This movie just goes to show you that sometimes it's the little things that can really hold me back from enjoying it. Yeah, I realize that these puns are absolutely horrendous, but goddamn, guys, they're just too damn easy. Hey there guys, how are you? Welcome back to yet another brand new movie review over here on my channel, and as always, I thank you all so much for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy your stay. This time around, as evidence from the cold open, we're gonna take a look at The Little Things, which premiered this weekend in theaters and on HBO Max at the exact same time. What a brilliant strategy. But this one was written and directed by John Lee Hancock, and it stars Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto, a stacked trio of talent. Deputy Sheriff Joe Deacon, played by Washington, joins forces with Sergeant Jimmy Baker, played by Malek, to search for a serial killer who's terrorizing LA. And as they track the culprit, Baxter is unaware that the investigation is bringing up some horrific memories of Deke's past, which uncovers some disturbing secrets that could threaten more than his case. So here's the thing, guys. I feel like movies like this one are a dying breed these days, but that's part of why I was super hyped to check this one out. I mean, just listening to that concept, The Little Things felt like a movie that was right up my alley. So the fact that I feel very indifferent towards this film should really almost tell you everything. But I will say that there are some things to enjoy about The Little Things. For instance, these three leading cast members play off of each other extremely well. Denzel Washington is by far and away the best fucking thing in this movie, and it's not even close. This is probably a given. This man is a legend, one of my favorite actors working right now. It just feels like he can do absolutely no wrong. Any role he gets, whether it be a Civil War hero, or a very reluctant high school football coach, or Troy Maxson in Fences, he always brings that dynamic oomph to every project he takes. And it always ups the quality of any film, including this one. He just makes things look so easy. His reactions all feel natural. I never felt like he was acting in this one. For God's sakes, he's a fucking icon for a very, very good reason. And Rami Malek, even though he also holds an Oscar, I think is just okay in the movie. It kind of took me a little bit for me to get into his performance here. I would say Rami Malek grew on me around the halfway point, but I really don't know what it was. I really should have enjoyed it a lot more. I don't know if it was his mannerisms or his approach to the role or what. He's not a bad performer at all. And like I said, he's fairly good in the film. His character just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Speaking of characters that might rub you the wrong way in real life, Jared Leto. He is very entertaining at times. He's very zany and out there. This character honestly feels to me as within Jared Leto's comfort zone lately. And I do think he's really fun to watch, especially towards the end of this film. And I would also say John Lee Hancock's direction, as usual from him, pretty solid. I really love the shot composition and the color scheme. This is a very grim looking feature. Lots of dark reds, pine greens, the purples, all of that flowing together with a majestic LA skyline. This is all super pretty. I think Hancock really has a nice grasp on how he plays with the colors within his shots, as well as the cinematography. And he really understands how to capture the proper tone of a film. And the musical score here was kind of hit or miss for me. I didn't exactly think it fit the movie's tone as it was starting, but then once it got towards the end of the film, it kind of grew a little bit more on me, just like Malek's performance. But you guys remember how I said that this type of movie was a dying breed these days? It's really sad I have to say that, because I've actually already reviewed a couple movies just like this right here on the channel, and all of them are better than The Little Things. I unfortunately found this story to be rather ordinary, plain, and I'm just gonna say it, kind of boring. I really hate to say that, but that's legitimately how I feel. I was really struggling to get through this one. Now, story, in my eyes, is a big element to a movie's ultimate success. And if a story like the one in The Little Things bores me... Now, I cannot take credit for this comparison that I'm about to make. I first heard this from my buddy Leo, who's Geekly Goods here on YouTube. Shout out to you, buddy. And everybody should definitely check him out too. But in his review for The Little Things, He made a really excellent comparison between this film and David Fincher's Seven. It's not a direct quote, but from what I gathered from him, he kind of said that it was a lesser version of Seven. And I gotta tell you guys, after finishing this film, I 100% agree with him. And those of you who've been with me for a while are already aware that I've reviewed Seven on the channel. Obviously, I won't go too deep into my thoughts of Seven in this video because obviously there's a whole nother one for that. But in short, I'll just say this. Those of you who watched that review already are completely aware that I think Seven is very close to a masterpiece. So when I heard Leo make that comparison in his review, I feel like I really hyped myself up way too much for this. Because I heard him say that and I was like, yes! I haven't seen a movie like this in a long time. But in the back of my mind, that comparison also had me a little bit concerned because when you compare this to Seven, that is an extremely high bar for this film to surpass. And sure enough, it just didn't. I really was not really entertained by the little things. The reason why is because, first off, there was no fear or mystery aspects to the little things. I'm sure that's what John Lee Hancock was going for, but it just didn't really come across that way. And the film is also rated R, just like Seven. And that's another thing. The Little Things doesn't even feel rated R. It just felt to me that this script was holding back punches that Seven did not. And that to me is ultimately the big indicator that, in my opinion, David Fincher succeeds with Seven where The Little Things does not. Whereas Seven was extremely shocking and surprising, The Little Things plays the genre very safe. This film is very slow paced. The story structure and plot elements sort of add up by the ending, but not really. And it also feels extremely predictable, whereas Seven, again, it doesn't feel predictable. It always feels like a true edge-of-your-seat thriller from start to finish. I feel really bad for saying this, but I just feel very indifferent about The Little Things. I mean, it's there. It exists. There's really good performances in there, especially from Denzel Washington, and the direction is quite solid. I know there's a good movie in there, but this film really doesn't do anything extraordinary. It really doesn't add anything unique to the genre. If anything, a lot of the elements in this film I've seen done in better films. And there's even a scene by the end. Again, I'm sorry because this is a mild spoiler, but the three main actors are literally in a desolate, like, desert landscape. And they're doing this scene that's really mind-bending and visceral and shocking and... And that's where the intensity is really upped in the film, just like with Seven. And you're probably sensing my pattern by this point. The Little Things really made me wish I was watching Seven instead. I mean, even just with this plot, you can certainly see those parallels. The way Denzel Washington and Rami Malek interact with each other, it really did remind me of how Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman interacted with each other, just like in Seven. I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, but I think this movie tends to meander on literally all the little things way too much. And it doesn't really pull you in with a white-knuckle murder mystery. It just all feels like clockwork. You know what they say, guys. You should never feel like a movie was made in a vacuum. Now, without spoiling anything too much, by the ending of this film, it really does feel like it was manufactured from a vacuum. Denzel Washington, of course, steals the show and lifts this movie out from pure January purgatory. The other two leading actors do well along with him. The filmmaking is solid with some beautiful cinematography and a score that will grow on you. But I was extremely disappointed by The Little Things. I'm gonna give it a C. This one was really tough to get through, and honestly, I don't really feel like I have anyone to blame but myself because I feel like I hyped myself up way too much. A lot of people have been asking me why I don't watch too many trailers or anything like that, and this is why. Because if I see a trailer and I hype myself up way too much for a certain thing, then this is the end result. God, I hope Warner Brothers doesn't let me down in a couple months, because that trailer was so damn good. But yeah, I would obviously rather watch Seven over this film any day of the week, because this almost feels like a carbon copy of Seven without that uneasy feeling. But I don't know, what did you guys think of The Little Things? Have you seen it yet? Do you agree with me? Do you not? How are you guys gonna check this one out? Are you guys gonna go to a theater to see it? Are you gonna stay home and check it out on HBO Max? I would love to discuss all of these thoughts and then some all down there in the comments. But if you guys are new here, or if you haven't already, please definitely consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can, because it is free, number one. It really would help out my channel immensely, and you beautiful subscribers will be the first ones to know anytime I upload a new video over here. And if you guys liked this video also, please feel free to leave me a big ol' thumbs up on your way out. I'd super appreciate that. And as always, look out for more exciting content hitting this very channel very soon. You guys are awesome. With all that being said, back talk commence.